I'm still struggling sometimes myself. Our minds are always thinking, like even when we're reading a book or listening to someone talk to us, our minds are racing ahead like 10 times the speed of what we're reading or what we're listening to, thinking about so many other things that might be triggered by something that we read or something that is said. We're talking to ourselves all the time. Our inner talk, self-talk, call it what you will, is operating 24/7, basically, where it's operating while we sleep.
We are here with Brendan Henry. His website is talkaboutliberation.net. And Brendan is a co-author with Pat Mesiti in the book Ready, Aim, Succeed. And Brendan is all about self-improvement from recovering from your past mistakes. Brendan has an analytical and inquiring mind. He is a spatial information expert, and that ranges from many interests from martial arts, strategy board games, politics, economics, so many exciting things. So Brendan, glad to be talking with you.
Yeah, glad to be talking with you. Yes, thank you.
And thank you for thanking me. And so as far as if someone tunes into you and they say, okay, this Brendan guy, he has some answers, some solutions to my problems. What are your solutions? What do you like talking about?
Look, I like talking about liberation or freedom. Freedom, obviously, it's a big term. We all know what freedom means, I guess, but in some sense, freedom is so much more than just like we think of slaves, and obviously they're not free, and we think of okay, people who are not a slave are free. Well, that's a very simplistic even definition. But when you think about freedom, you think about freedom not only from physical constraints, but also mental, emotional, a whole lot of things that maybe hold people back. And I know this has been true in my past a little bit, things, self-limiting thoughts, which have held me back in the past, which I'm, continually on a process of improvement and trying to work through some of that to get more freedom myself, and also um, thinking about how I can help others to have more freedom in their thinking, in their behaviors, in their habits, in the whole life. Yeah.
I love it. Freedom in your thinking, in your habits, in your life. And yeah, that the word freedom, so many things come to mind when you think about it, right? Like you think about things like the freedom to express yourself, or freedom from fear, or you think about sometimes how discipline can equal freedom, and how it can be sort of paradoxical, right? Like how we say, well, I wish I had free time. And if you're the kind of person that has no free time, well, you probably don't organize your time, and you probably don't schedule your time. And if you scheduled your future time and you were kind of more orderly, then you would have the freedom you're seeking. And it hurts my brain, right? Because I think to myself, well, I want freedom and I want to just be able to do whatever I want. But then I have to like maybe set up some rules for myself, especially with that calendar scheduling system. So that way I can kind of have these blocks of time. And it like, I hope that makes sense, that like in order to get the freedom, there's almost like that delayed gratification, right? Where sometimes I do the work now, I do the thing I don't want to do now, that way I can do the thing I want to do later. So in that equation, freedom exists, but maybe some does not exist in the present, but some exists in the future.
That's right. Yeah, and that's really good what you mentioned there, Robert, about the delayed gratification. Sometimes it's necessary to do the things that you don't want to do when they need to be done, so that your life can improve in the future. And again, that's a really important aspect of that, to think, okay, we're all on a journey of improvement. The largest room in the world is the room for improvement. I mean, it's the thing is, no one is perfect. Like, I'm continually improving in so many aspects of my life, and that's true of everyone basically in the world.
And is there an area of improvement that you think is not spoken of about? Is there some area where you've really improved lately that you think that we need to hear about?
Look, I guess one aspect of my personality, and this is true of me, and it might be true of many people. I'm neurodiverse. Basically, I have a very analytical mind, and that's a good way of saying it. There's different uh, basically autism or Asperger's syndrome, which is another diagnostic way of describing it. But basically, it was for me something I had to work on in my life, something I had to develop. I had to maybe possibly work harder than other people. But in that working harder, I think I've learned that everyone has their struggles. Everyone has their things that they have to get over. And it might be some people, it might not be as readily apparent. But for me, obviously, for growing up, I was very shy. I was something, and I've developed skills and I've developed sociability that I can relate to a lot more people, obviously, as an adult than I used to when I was a young child. But obviously, that's something that I've developed. There's different people have a whole lot of things that may, like I said, freedom. It's the whole aspect of freedom is that if we don't have freedom, if there's something that's holding us back, then that's something that's limiting us in our life, and that's something that I'm again continually improving.
That's excellent. And you're making me think about I would say maybe the past 5 or 10 years, I myself have been just more deliberately working on those social skills because at least I used to assume they were just built in. I assume that like either you're born with it or you're not, and that some people just magically had tons of friends and then some of us didn't. And I realized, I don't even know when, but a few years ago, that some things just need to be deliberate. And some of these small actions, like having a casual conversation, small talk, sometimes a conversation about nothing, or being genuinely curious, or reaching out to people, or just maybe enjoying what you could consider a waste of time, right? Where sometimes you just kind of chit chat and talk about someone's day, or reach out or do something nice. And logically, there's no value in it, but emotionally, you're expanding your social circle, you're being a nice person, you're feeling better, they're feeling better. So there definitely is something to be said about those sorts of small gestures throughout the day, and also just the positive self-talk and the self-care and the being nice to yourself as well. It's really easy to just get stuck in that logical mode and say, what work am I doing? What are my goals? What am I accomplishing? But there's also just kind of taking care of your emotional and your mental health. And so, you've had these struggles, and some people, maybe it comes naturally and they have it easy, but then they don't struggle and they don't grow. So maybe the going through the struggles and the problems is a blessing in disguise, because then the muscle can grow and we can learn these social skills and maybe even improve them over time. And so you've dealt with some sorts of struggles in different forms. And is there a struggle that you feel like telling us about today? It's always fun to hear a story where in the past you failed or it was difficult, but then you had an aha and then it was better in the present. So what do you have to share with us just about some of these past struggles you've gone through where it had a happy ending?
I guess, physically, growing up, with just my personality, I was not very good with sport. I was not a good sports person at school. Catching a ball. I mean, some people, could catch a ball easily. I struggled with that a long time, and so I sort of gave myself a bit of a mental image that I'm no good at sports, and I guess that's something that stuck with me for a while. But then, as an adult, I've actually developed skills in different sporting pursuits. Obviously, one sporting pursuit I've really enjoyed is orienteering, and it's very much in tune with my analytical mind, and it's actually map reading and and running through the bush and navigating. And it's actually, it is a sport and it's quite competitive at the highest levels. And so that's something that I have really enjoyed. But something else that I thought, oh, I physically, I thought, oh, I could never do, much, many sports very well. I've taken up martial arts as an adult. I started in my 40s actually, um, and it's something that I thought, oh wow, this, my body can learn to do these moves and kicks, punches, blocks, and all of that type of thing in martial arts. That I thought, wow, if I had kept that mindset that I'm no good at sports, I would never have tried martial arts. But it's breaking through that mindset, and it's thinking, okay, one small step after another. You keep on taking those small steps, and I kept on taking those small steps, and obviously now I'm a second dan black belt in martial arts, taekwondo, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And I would have, thinking back, as a young child, I thought, no, I'm not, sports and I don't mix. But see, that's something that it was a limiting thoughts that I had. But now, obviously, that I can break through that. I can, that's just what a really really nice thing or fun thing that I do that I still love doing.
And I think that's very helpful. And that shines a light on this idea of the limiting beliefs and the self-sabotage, how some of us are sort of a slave to our thoughts, kind of going back to what you said in the beginning there, and how it's so easy to get comfortable in the misery and to just say, well, why should I even try? Because I know I can't achieve that. At least I'm certain and I'm comfortable and I can live in that really safe space of not accomplishing anything, and say, why should I even try orienteering? Why should I try martial arts? And there's that little bit of difficulty and discomfort of being better than yourself, and of saying, well, the I magically will not be saved, right? I have to put forth the effort myself, and it will take some kind of work. But if I default to that negative thinking, it's guaranteed not to work, right? If you went into
Yes,
that
yeah,
taekwondo studio and you said, I can't throw a punch, I can't do these moves, I can't get any sort of belt, then you'd be guaranteed to fail. And so it's much more helpful to be positive, even if at first it seems unnatural, or it might seem a long way away because you have many of these small steps ahead of you, and it's just better all around and more healthier to be positive, even if it seems weird at first.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yes, yes,
Well,
yeah. I
well, great.
found.
And so like, are there any ahas that you can share with us about other people? Like, you've been talking about how, like, going digging deep into yourself and kind of pushing yourself and achieving new things and achieving these sports and accomplishing new things you previously didn't think that you were capable of. That's super cool. And then, but there's also, like we've been talking about, like, our interactions with others. So is there anything in that category, dealing with others, other people, that have been surprising for you that you feel like passing along?
Yeah, yeah. Certainly, one thing that I've realised more in recent years is that everyone's on a journey. Everyone's on their journey of, and everyone has daily challenges. I'll call them challenges. They might be big or small. Some people have, just going through some small challenges. Some people are going through major challenges, and I don't always know what they're going through, and that's something that, especially in the work environment, I've become more sensitive, and more gentle. I think is a nice way of saying it. More gentle with people, in the sense of, okay, they might be going through something, yes, and basically, but treating everyone with respect, treating everyone as, that they are capable of doing things, and maybe they haven't been trained to do everything that they need to do. And so that's something that, the training, the just encouragement is an important aspect of that in the work situation. And just realizing that, okay, yeah, people might be going through stuff that they haven't disclosed, and that's fair enough. Everyone has you know their right to privacy, and also if they want to disclose it, that's up to them as well. But then, even if they haven't disclosed it, to be aware that people might be going through stuff, people might be, having their own struggles which they're not sharing, and just to realize that everyone has their is on a journey themselves. Something else that I've learned to think is that, like, yesterday finished last night. We have to think about, okay, it might be mistakes that I've made in the past, and that I think, okay, well, what can I learn from those mistakes that have occurred in the past? How can I prevent like similar mistakes happening in the future? And that's something, another aspect of uh, that I've learned, and that I've learned that that's true of other people as well. I think we all need to have that mindset that we can think about, okay, what didn't go so well in the past? What can I learn from it? What can I improve from it? And that's important as well.
I agree. So you're saying that we need to have respect for others and patience and understanding that they're, no matter who it is, they're going through all sorts of things that we are not privy to.
Hmm.
And you're reminding me that it took me so many years to let go of the idea that if someone was maybe rude or angry or just kind of approached me in a way I didn't like, usually it's not about me, right? Usually it's them that has the problem. And if someone is aggressive and attacking and things like that, it says a lot more about them than it says about me. And then
Hmm.
so then you mentioned about this idea of self-improvement and kind of reflecting on the past for the purposes of improving and saying, okay, I know I messed up, I know I made that mistake, so then how can I correct the behavior in the future? And I personally sometimes have a problem with letting go of the past. And I tell
Hmm.
myself all these things like, well, okay, did I do that analysis? I know what to do better, but then why am I still stuck in the past? Or I think to myself, like, at this point, I'm just making myself miserable, just kind of going back over those old thoughts. So do you struggle with that as well? Or do you have any advice as far as just like letting go of just when that bad memory of being 8 years old or being 18 years old just comes back and it's not a good feeling? Do you have
Hmm.
any advice or have you learned anything as far as letting go and learning from your mistakes, but also just kind of letting it stay in the past? Because easier said than done. So what do you think?
Yeah, definitely easier said than done. And look, I'm still struggling sometimes myself. Um, our minds are always thinking, like, even when we're reading a book or listening to someone talk to us, our minds are racing ahead like 10 times the speed of what we're reading or what we're listening to, and thinking about so many other things that might be triggered by something that we read or something that is said. Um, and so we're talking to ourselves all the time. Uh, our our inner talk, self talk, call it what you will, is operating 24/7 basically, where it's operating while we sleep, but it's operating certainly while we're awake. But while we're awake, we can, okay, instead of thinking, okay, I might think, oh, I'm not good at this, or I'm not very, uh, I can't seem to get this working right. Even saying things like that actually perpetuates that negative type of self talk. Instead of saying, I'm not very good at this, you could say, I'm improving in this area. I still have a way to go, but I'm continually improving. And even just saying that in a slightly different wording, you still have room for improvement, but you're saying it in a more positive way. That's, and again, I have to catch myself. daily, or hourly even, with things that I say or think about. Well, hang on, no, that's not the best way of saying that. I'm thinking I should, say instead, I dedicate myself to constant and never-ending improvement, and statements like that. And look, there's lots of people have spoken about and written books about affirmations and self-talk. And the fact is, there is a lot of evidence to suggest that the more we say we stop ourselves and think, hang on, no, that's not a good thing. What I should be saying, because I am capable. I am able to improve myself. Think of us, like, if we think back, we were all born helpless. We needed total support when we were born. We've all developed. We've developed ability to walk, to do a whole lot of skills that we never were able to do when we were born. So we're on a continuous journey, and again, we all have to. I have to pull myself up, as I said many times. But I think, I can say these positive affirmations, and I write them down. I mean, that is an important part of it as well. Writing things down that you want to, instead of things that you might think in your mind, if you write something down that's a positive statement, that I can achieve X, Y, Z, or I can be a good sports person, or I can be I can work this software out, or whatever we're dealing with. Yeah.
Very nice. Be kinder to yourself. Catch yourself when you are falling in these negative habits and just saying these thoughts. And the reason is because if you don't catch these thoughts and you let them go, then you'll be stuck in this cycle forever. And it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you'll say, I can't do it. And you'll keep thinking that, and you'll stop even noticing that you're thinking that. And this will direct you. And that goes back to being a slave to your own thoughts again. And it's kind of going almost directionless. And what we want to be is directionful, or directed, or whatever the proper phrasing is, where we say, there's where I want to be. I want to achieve this. I want to get there, but I won't get there by accident, by luck, or by negative thinking. And some of these things that we've heard over and over again, well, maybe there's a reason, right? If we've heard about self-talk, we've heard about affirmations, then maybe it's a thing to look into, and stopping the bad affirmations and then looking into what affirmations are out there for the purposes of coming up with our own affirmations, and then writing those down, so that way it's put down, it's permanent, and it has more power and impact than these kind of just bad negative thoughts floating around. You are putting more weight on the good side and not on the bad side. And it seems like a lot of this all relates, Brendan, to like just giving ourselves more credit. And I find that especially when I'm having those weeks where I feel like I'm just not as productive as I want to be, not as I should be, but I just feel down on myself. I find myself forcing myself to write down what I accomplish. And I write the to-do list, and I write down if I've snuck in a few tasks in there. I say, hang on a second, let me write down those tasks I accomplished. That way I can give myself a little credit, and I can look back at the list and say, here I am kicking myself and feeling bad, but I can look and see there's 12 things I accomplished before lunch, and it's not so bad, and I am doing a good job, and I do deserve a pat on the back, and I think that we all do, because it's way too easy, and it's scary that the default mode is to be such a negative Nelly, and we need the new default mode to be a positive, happy, optimistic person. And so as far as this relates to you and your website and your business, what is your company like, and what solution do you provide?
Well, I am a liberty advisor, so I've learned a lot about freedom, liberty. I've learned about politics, economics as well, and about how that impacts our freedoms. And so, look, I have, and again, I'm still on a journey, but I'm keen to journey with other people, and I am doing that with some people, and obviously learning from them. They're learning from me, but I'm keen to to learn and share with more people. So that's basically, I have a website, talkaboutliberation.net. Look, I'd love to to talk more about how I can walk with you or walk with other people about achieving that higher level of freedom in life.
I love it. There's that saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And what that tells me is if you just go by yourself, that might work for a while. That might work temporarily. But as you and I both know, if you get lost in the woods, then you really hope to have the help of someone else, or have your compass or your GPS or some just outside resources. When you go to Taekwondo, imagine if you went to that martial arts studio and you talked to no one and you kept to yourself and you just read a book about it, you would not get very far. But by taking instruction, by doing the moves and doing the practice and doing the, I don't know what they call it, like the fights or sessions, or what do they call it when you actually go to battle?
The sparring.
The spar, yeah. When they do the sparring, you're not sparring with yourself, you're sparring with someone else. And it's also more fun and enjoyable that way than if you were just by yourself, just sitting in a room. And even like you and I speaking here, right? It's not you or it's not me just sitting and recording a video, or we're sparring, right? We're having the back and forth conversation, and it's a lot of fun. And so that person out there in podcast land who is watching our conversation, who says, I'm doing my research, I'm learning about what a Liberty advisor does and what I need to know about this better self-belief, that's okay. But I need to take the next step, take the next action, and accept the help from other people, including Brendan and his group. And the website to do that, to take the next step, is talkaboutliberation.net. And when someone goes to that website, Brendan, what will they find? What's there?
There's opportunities to meet with me in a Zoom call. There will be some information, monthly updates of just a summary of liberation thoughts, which I'm collating. And obviously, there's a lot of information about freedom and liberty, which many people have written about over many years. Obviously names like Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, some of the older people, and Dennis Waitley and different people. But there's a lot of good information out there about improving your life, having more liberty or freedom in the broadest sense. And so, there's a lot of information out there. So a little bit of a summary of some of the information that's already out there.
Excellent. And I find myself, if I'm stuck in a rut or if I'm feeling down, it helps to just get some new information and get some new perspective in order to just wake my brain up a little bit and to change my thinking, because I know that if I expect my brain to change its thinking on its own, it doesn't always happen, right? I need to sometimes pick up a book, do the research, go to a website, watch some videos, get some other resources in order for me to get to where I want to go. And so you have all this information here, Brendan, from Tony Robbins and Earl Nightingale. And so it makes me wonder, well, is there one piece of advice that really floats up to the surface? Like, for example, I love that saying by Henry Ford, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. And sometimes we think about, well, what could I have told my past self 10 or 20 years ago? Or we think to ourselves, like, what's like a really good, like number one, or really helpful lesson that's helped me get through? So does anything come to mind for you here, Brendan, as we're wrapping up? Is there like a really powerful lesson that you can leave us with that we can think about that has helped you quite a bit?
Look, I have a faith in a higher being. I call him God. And that has certainly been a help to me. Everyone has their own spiritual beliefs, but I believe that we're complete people. Like, we're body, mind, and soul. And our bodies obviously can do certain things. Our mind thinks of so much more than our bodies, and our mind is actually more in control of our body than than what we often think about. Then our soul, our inner being, who we really are. I mean, that's an important part, and that will, the core of who we are, will make us will basically influence what we think about in our mind, and in turn what we do with our body.
I love that. And so it helps me to, if there's a big messy problem, to break it down into pieces. And so so you're telling me to think about my mind, my body, and my soul, and where are those at? What are those doing? How are those serving me? How are they interacting? And what can I improve maybe a little bit in each resource, the mind, the body, and the soul. So this has been quite a lot of fun to think about and speak about with you, Brendan. And if someone out there, like we said, is watching or listening to the podcast and they want to keep this party going, they said, I got a taste of the Brendan wisdom and knowledge, but I want to continue that, then the very next step, the very next thing to do is to go to talkaboutliberation.net. So we have been speaking with Brendan Henry, the co-author with Pat Mesiti of what was the book again? It was Ready, Aim, Succeed. Wanted to make sure I said it right. And the website is talkaboutliberation.net. So Brendan Henry, be kind to yourself, think in affirmations, and don't sweat the small stuff. And that way we can all be free. So thank you very much, Brendan Henry, talkaboutliberation.net.
Thanks, Robert. Thank you.